Holy crap. It's been 3 years, almost? No, 2 years, since the last time I've made any videos on how to make renders. So I think from that, looking back at what I've taught everyone, I want to go ahead and just forget all of that, and let's try something new. So let's go. I don't really know if this will be much of a tutorial, more of just watching me go ahead and put stuff together. So let's go ahead and start building something. I kind of want to build like a nice little easy studio scene, nothing too crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and grab my brand new model of the Chevy Silverado. And for this we'll be using Blender 4.2.3 LTS. This is one of the newest versions of Blender. I don't think it's the newest, but it's very close. So go ahead and use that. Grab my truck model. I already have a paint scheme on it. Just designed this last night. And we'll go ahead and copy it and put it into a new scene, create a new collection over here, and go ahead and paste it, switch over to viewport shading. Might take a minute to load with all the textures, but that's okay. Go ahead and close that collection. And let's see. I kind of want like something, a studio scene, but I want like harsh lighting onto it, so a lot of shadows. Kind of make it more like of a dramatic style, but because like a normal studio scene where everything's perfect lighting, every single corner of the truck has perfect lighting, is kind of boring in my opinion. So we'll go ahead and just create something. So do Shift A, add a plane, make it, let's say that's about a decent size. Tap into edit mode. Go make sure you're on vertices. Let's go ahead and extrude all these up. That looks about right. And then what we'll do is go down here, select this edge, Control B, go to bevel, turn segments up, and I'd say that's a pretty nice bevel actually. Then we'll go ahead and rotate the scene, which honestly we could probably make it a little wider, a little bigger, and then rotate it. And then we'll do Shift A, add a camera, press 0 on your number pad, go over here, go to view, camera to view, zoom out, and then go ahead and place it probably a little higher so you can kind of see the shadows in the back whenever I start to put them there. And then go ahead and switch over to render settings, put cycles, GPU, and then turn the samples down to 180. And then won't mess with any of the denoise because the standard denoise in the new version of Blender is actually pretty good. And then one big thing that I've just figured out actually is a thing, it's pretty nice to use. If you go down to color management and go to view transform, it has AGX right now, put standard, and you get the true colors, like actual colors that you should be seeing. I don't know why Blender has it to where it's like very, very dull, but whatever. This looks great. And right now you can actually see the shadows. Well, actually a lot better. So if we go back to AGX, they kind of disappear a little bit, but standard, since everything's brighter, more blue, more temperature's a little colder too. It looks a little bit better. We won't change any of our render settings here. We'll just leave it 1920 by 1080, and then our performance will be the same. Don't really need to change anything else. If you do end up upping this and do render in tiles, whatever your highest pixel is, go over to performance and then switch your tile size to that, so it renders all in one big tile. It's a little faster too. Let's see what else. What else can we do? We'll create a material for this, make it a little bit shiny, and then let's see. We'll move that back a little bit so you don't see as much of the curve. And then we'll go ahead and add some lights in here. So last time I showed, I think, how to use normal like HDRIs and whatnot, but I've kind of wanted to learn how to use natural lighting, or well, not really natural, but more of like the basic Blender lighting, so like area lights and whatnot. So I've been kind of learning how to use those, and um, it's been working out pretty well. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and use. And you can see already here, it looks a little bit goofy, but if we turn that up, probably about there, I think that looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and get this moved up a little bit more so we have a little more of that. And you're not really trying to get rid of the, like, you're trying to make a fine line between it's bright, but also you don't want to get rid of any of these body lines because the brighter you go, so like the more those disappear. So you don't really want to do that. Um, so trying to find a fine line between that. And I think right about here is actually pretty good, I would say. Yeah, I would agree that's pretty solid. But what we're going to do is go ahead and move this more towards this side. So you get that more aggressive lighting in the front as well. And one little cool thing you can do as well is add a little tiny bit of blue in there. Turn the roughness down some. And yeah, something like that. You kind of see the reflection on the light, or on the ground, and then from the light you can see right here. One thing you can also do is if you turn your spread down, it hits less and less of the truck. Or turn it all the way up. For this, I'll keep it up as much as I can go. And something like that. I think that looks pretty good. Kind of like an RCR style render. We'll zoom it in and we might be able to get away with deleting the back over here actually. Hang on. Might just do that. Leave it like this. And then try to no, that doesn't work. If you mess with the background in the world, the shadows change a little bit of colors. So I have mine as a little darker gray, but not too dark. I think that works pretty good. And for this scene, since there's no backing, I guess we'll go ahead and just have the angles of for the truck a little higher up. So something like that. And then there we go. Then I think that's pretty good. Press render F12. Go ahead and render this guy. I'd say that looks pretty good, but we can make it look better with some Photoshop stuff. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do here in a second when this is done. Should only take another second or two to render. And there we go. 23-second render. Save this as whatever. And open up Photoshop or whatever design program you have, but Photoshop's the one I'm using, and they're camera raw filters, so you'll might not be able to follow along with this part. Just come in here, grab your render, and then go to camera raw filter. I think everything looks pretty good, but I'm going to turn the contrast up a little bit, make it a little bit darker. shadows up a little. And then the big thing that I want to do is put the clarity up a little bit. Not much, but just a little bit. Make the colors a tiny bit cooler. Thanks, Creative Cloud. Thanks. Yep. Go ahead and turn the vibrance up on these, and it's a little bit different, but not much. And you know, something like this I think looks pretty good for just a render scene. Like, it looks, you have the aggressive lighting over here, kind of exaggerated, you know, dark spaces. But I think that's exactly what we're looking for. I think it looks pretty good. So, you know, quick little tutorial or whatever, just watch me put together a random render scene just because I feel like it. So, yeah, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Maybe this will teach you something. So, thanks for watching, and maybe come back here in another year or two or three. I don't know how long it'll be for my next video. So, goodbye.